What's up, everybody? Back with another Fair Shake review, and this time we're going to be talking about Ariana Grande's new album, Positions. Now, I'm a big Ariana stan. I really am. I've been listening to her ever since her Yours Truly project. I wasn't there with the what is it? Put your heart out or something like that. The very first single with Nickelodeon. Now I had to look back to that release back when Yours Truly was coming out, and I was like, oh, she has put some stuff out before, but not a whole lot. But been listening to her for a very long time, and to see her growth musically has been awesome. Now, this project I was looking forward to very much. Like even when the premiere for Positions, the song was coming out, I was like, yo, I'm up. I'm gonna get my bro. I know he's big in Ariana. I'm like, yo, it's about to, like, I'm knocking on his door like, yo, the premiere is about to happen. Want to watch it with me? We ended up watching it, and then we were kind of, just lukewarm on it. It was like, okay, put Positions, the song, it's okay. It's not as amazing and mind blowing as thought it was gonna be, but it's an alright track. So that had me slightly worried. Like, how is this project really gonna end up being? And then I started reading some other thoughts of people, what other people knew about the project, and hearing that it was going to be a lot more sexual, or at least more upfront about the sexuality. And I was like, oh, really? Is it really gonna be like that? But lo and behold, the week passes, and I finally get to listen to the project the night it drops, and I'm like, yeah, it really is more upfront sexually. Now, as she's mentioned in an interview, she's always had songs that mentioned her own sexuality in it, but I just gotta say, she cannot deny how more upfront and blunt about it she is in this project. I mean, in 34, 35, she straight up says, give me them babies, and then in Nasty, she straight up talking about her gushy, if you know what I mean. So she says she keep it clean, but yeah. So yeah, she is definitely way more upfront about her sexuality in it, and I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. It was just a little shocking to hear, but she is a grown woman, and she has her own needs, so I'm fine with that. And that's not really what made me feel the way I feel about this project. It's not really what she's talking about. It's just how. So it starts off with Shut Up, which I thought was a cool little opening track, because it is very short, and it's just kind of like, hey, mind your own business. You don't know who I am. You don't really know me. So, if you have nothing good to say, just shut up. But then 34, 35, like when I saw the track list, I was like, oh yeah, it definitely is going to be a more sexual project. This is straight up 69. So yeah. So it's definitely like a kind of more fun, upbeat, kind of like mid-tempo R&B kind of track, contemporary R&B that is. And I thought I was like, okay, this is a good little bop, 30 for 35, ooh, just a nice little bop. And I was like, okay, I can rock with this. Then Motive comes on, and I'm like, oh yeah, with Doja Cat, okay, I get the upbeat vibes. I hear, okay. I can I can bob my head to it. And I get, trying to think of, wondering what their motive is when moving on in a relationship, trying to see if it's the right, move to make. And, so that whole concept there is nice too. So I'm like, okay, it's still sounding just okay. Doja's feature is very nice on there. I did like it. Then Just Like Magic comes on. I was like, oh. Now this one is another like nice little mid-tempo bop that's a little bit more like trap R&B, and just she's up here just talking to Ish, and I dig that. I like it when she talks to Ish. So that one I was like, okay, this is the first one that I'm like, I really dig. Then Off the Table comes on, and I'm like, oh, we getting soulful on it. So this is kind of more like that atmospheric. I hear it's closer to almost old school Weekend, R&B, and I was like a little thrown off a bit with some of the delivery of the lines, because when it comes to like the titular line is like, do you say that love is completely off the table? And it just like bleeds over to the next measure, and I'm like, oh, I did not expect that to be it. And also, like Ariana's first verse, there's not really rhyming phrases. It's very much more like prose, and so that kind of threw me off a little bit, and I had to get used to it. And I thought, it definitely delivers the story pretty well. I mean, I've heard some criticism of, the Weekend on on that song, just coming off as like, I'm here, I'm the knight in shining armor, I'll wait for you. And it's like, yeah, I get that. That's kind of like, not the most three-dimensional role to take in the song, but it serves its purpose. And I think that Off the Table still sounds pretty nice. Both of their voices still pair very well, just as they did in Love Me Harder. And I was actually very surprised that they went kind of a little bit more of a more sentimental route than the more carnal relationship it seemed to have in Love Me Harder. So yeah, I like Off the Table. But it's not the duet that I like the most. But first, let's get to the track in between that with 6:30. I thought it was pretty good. When I saw the title, I already knew it was going to be like something like Hands Down, Are You Down, something like that. Turns out it's Are You Down, and I was like, okay, I knew it. I am just too smart. But it's another one that's just like, yeah, I could bob my head to this. It's not making me really want to sing along a whole lot, but I can bob my head to this. Safetynet is the duet that I like the most on this project. Like, this was an excellent combination between Ty Dolla $ign and Ari, and I was like, yeah, this here is really nice. I really dig this. But then starts coming my absolute fave. Like, it's between this and one of the later tracks, that fight between my absolute favorite track. But My Hair, oh, that more jazzy R&B, like, ooh, that's my weak point right there, man. And it hit me right in the heart. I was like, yes. Like, you could tell the sisters put their hand in this. Like, I know it is important and it's an intimate thing for, people who are not of color as well. But when it comes to people of color, the importance of hair is so important. So, the way she talks about it in the lyrics, it's just like, yeah, you definitely know the sisters really had an influence on the way this is talked about. But like I said, there are like it's also an important thing for people who are not of color, but you know, to make a whole song about it, to make a whole song about it, that's a black thing. That's, to me, that just seems like a black thing. And you know, Ari singing up the track just, it was great, and she put her foot in it, and then to even like sing the whole last chorus in Whistle Totes was like insane. So yeah, I love that track. Then Nasty, which I've heard from a lot of people, I've asked around, being a lot of people's favorite, is just kind of okay to me. Um, it's another one where it's just like, okay, I can bop to this. The lines definitely made me go, oh, okay. I didn't know you were gonna go there, Ari, but okay, I hear you. Um, but for the most part, it's just okay, in my opinion. Then we get West Side. This beat at first made me be like, I don't. I think this might be the first dud. And then I went back to it later, and I was like, okay, it's not that. It's not as bad as I thought it was. I just feel like maybe I had to be in the right mood to bop to this one. But West Side is not a bad track. It's just, eh. Then Love Language. Ooh, another more upbeat, kind of danceable R&B track with a bit of a pop feel to it, and I'm like, yo, Love Language, man. It's so good. It's so good. It's a bop to me. So yeah. And then the only thing that I feel hurts the re-listen is like the small like interlude song that goes into positions. So that's the only thing that hurts the replay of Love Language. But outside of that, I love that junk. And then, like mentioned before, Positions was just okay. Really surprised it was the first single. Like, I get it's the title track, but it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't have a wow factor. It's just something that you could play in the background to me. But hey, it is what it is. Obvious is another track that's, you know, you could just kind of bop to as well. A little bit on the lower tier side of things, along side West Side. I feel like those are both kind of like in that area on the lower tier type of songs. And then POV was a pretty decent closer. Like lyrically, I really enjoy it. Production and like execution of the vocals itself, it's just okay. But the lyrics themselves, I really do enjoy, and that raises it to a good song to me. But yeah, a lot of people were very upset with me when I was telling them my thoughts about this. Before I did this review, I still overall feel that it's just a good album. It's not great, it's not amazing, it's not bad. It's just good. It's a good album. It's an okay album. There's just a lot there's this is a very different to me project from Ariana. Like, she's been doing a lot of like bops, like from Sweetener and Thank You Next. There's been a lot of songs that are just meant to just boom. It's like you hear it instantly, you're just like, ooh, I am in there, I'm jamming, I'm gonna be partying to this. This one is a little bit more low key, I feel, and apparently that's also what she meant to do. In the interview that I've heard her do, she said, you know, not everything. I wasn't just trying to just do a bunch of bops. Sometimes I just want to plain old sing. And she did get some singing off in here, and she definitely got to do a few different styles that she hasn't done as much before in the past. And like, there's definitely a heavier R&B influence on a lot of these. There's not as many like pop bangers on this project, um, but um, unfortunately, that still just makes me think it's a good album because there's not a lot of songs that just make me say, "Ooh, I love this." Um, so, favorite tracks: My Hair, Love Language, Just Like Magic, and then Safety Net is kind of like is wanting to be one of those top tier songs, but it's just right underneath. It's like A tier. If my hair if My Hair and Love Language, no, so let's put it this way. My Hair and Love Language are S tier. A tier would be Just Like Magic. Um, and maybe, yeah, I'd put Safety Net along with A tier. And then the rest ends up being kind of like B or C tier from there. Um, so, yeah, like the C tier songs would definitely be West Side and Obvious, and then probably the rest I'd probably put B tier. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys thought of the project. What are your favorite tracks? What are your least favorite tracks? Am I just completely wrong and stupid because the project is amazing? Or am I kind of right that, it's just good? There's a few really great songs on there, but most of them just okay. But yeah, until next time, much love, peace, threes.